The stars of the galactic summit twinkled like 1,000 eyes watching the galaxy's most important meeting. In the vast space station Orion Nexus, every major species had gathered, each one radiating authority, power, and in many cases disdain. Humans, as always, were underestimated. They were small in number compared to the sprawling insectoid armies or the massive reptilian fleets. Yet here they were, walking among rulers of entire star systems with calm dignity. Commander Elena Voss, Earth's ambassador, moved through the station's corridors with a quiet confidence. Her dark uniform, marked with the Earth insignia, stood out against the alien designs. Reptilian delegates hissed as she passed, whispering about the humans' audacity. Insectoid envoys clicked in annoyance. Energy beings shimmered nervously, unable to hide their discomfort. Elena ignored them. She had faced skepticism before, and she knew the only way to command respect was to project strength, even when her fleet was far away. She reached the central hall, a massive chamber filled with light panels that floated midair, displaying star maps, trade routes, and economic data. Delegates took their places on floating platforms, each species, representative glowing or bristling with intimidation. The humans were last, small and few, yet Elena's posture made them look like giants. "Let us begin," she said, her voice clear and strong, amplified just enough to carry across the vast hall. The session started with the usual pleasantries. Alien leaders discussed trade agreements, mining rights, and military boundaries. The humans listened carefully, occasionally intervening with questions that showed intelligence, precision, and caution. Most delegates ignored them, assuming their input was inconsequential. That assumption would soon become fatal. As the discussion moved toward strategic alliances, Elena noticed a tension in the room. A group of smaller, less-known alien factions were exchanging hurried glances. She didn't yet know why, but her instincts told her something was off. And then it happened. A sudden flash of light erupted near the main platform. A piercing sound filled the hall, followed by screams. Elena's eyes widened as she saw the figure of a human diplomat collapse. Chaos erupted. Platforms swayed as delegates stumbled and tried to regain balance. Alien security forces reacted instantly, energy shields firing into the air, immobilizing the area. Elena rushed forward. Her mind worked faster than most would believe. She shielded nearby humans with her own body, checking for threats. She saw the attacker masked, swift, and precise. In one horrifying moment, the weapon fired again, and then it was over. The galactic ambassador lay dead, slumped against the platform. Gasps, cries, and urgent communications filled the air. Delegates looked around, pointing fingers. Accusations flew faster than logic. The humans, trained for crisis, immediately secured their own team, moving them to safety while keeping calm under fire. But calm didn't mean powerless. Elena and her security officers worked silently, accessing station systems, analyzing data, and scanning for any clue of who had fired the weapon. Their eyes widened as they detected something chilling. The signature of the weapon was unknown but undeniably alien. It was a clear message. Humans were being tested, challenged, mocked. Across the galaxy, billions watched the live broadcast. In homes, starports, and command centers, species debated. What will humans do? Will they beg for mercy? Will they retaliate? Few realized the truth. Humans were not weak. On Earth, the president viewed the broadcast from the orbital command hub, surrounded by a team of advisors. He remained calm, his face unreadable. After a long pause, he spoke, and every viewer across the galaxy could hear him. They will regret this. Not tomorrow, not in a year, but they will regret this forever. Back in Orion Nexus, Elena's team began securing the area. Forensic drones flew around, scanning every inch of the hall. Security footage, data logs, and station communications were being recorded. Elena knew that proof was as powerful as weapons. Even if they couldn't strike immediately, the galaxy would see the truth, and humans would act. Alien delegates, meanwhile, whispered among themselves. Many felt relief, believing the humans were now powerless. Some even smirked. "They can't respond," one reptilian leader hissed. "Earth is isolated, their fleets are far away, they are just humans, they are weak." But Alina heard every word. She tightened her grip on her comms device. "Prepare for evacuation protocols. We move only if necessary, but stay alert. Record everything. The galaxy must see the truth," she instructed. Her tone carried a silent warning. Humans were calm, but calm did not mean submissive. As the summit resumed under tense order, rumors spread. Some factions openly accused Earth of orchestrating the attack to gain sympathy. Others blamed rival species trying to provoke a war. Nobody suspected that the humans already knew more than they let on. Alina moved to a secure observation deck overlooking the station's docking bays. Through the glass, she saw human stealth freighters waiting silently, undetected by alien sensors. They were not here to fight, not yet, but they were ready. Every ship contained precision technology, advanced AI, and human crews trained for rapid deployment. The fleet was a quiet but powerful reminder. Humanity was not defenseless. Her mind turned to strategy. The assassin had left traces, small digital signatures embedded in the weapon's energy matrix. Humans were experts at tracking, analyzing, and interpreting such signs. Even if alien species thought humans were reactive, Alina knew they were proactive. Meanwhile, across the station, other humans worked silently. Engineers interfaced with alien tech, adapting it to their own systems. Scientists monitored energy signatures, detecting anomalies that could point to hidden threats. Every human knew the rules: act smart, act fast, but never panic. And yet tension was high. The galaxy was watching, expecting humans to beg or flinch. They underestimated one thing: human resolve. In a private chamber, Alina spoke to her team. "This is more than retaliation. This is strategy. We must show them that killing one of ours has consequences. But we do not act blindly. We gather evidence, expose the truth, and ensure the galaxy understands. Humans are not to be underestimated." Her words were calm but carried weight. Even the younger officers, nervous and shaken, felt a surge of pride. This was what it meant to be human: intelligence, courage, and honor intertwined. The first part of their response began not with weapons, but with precision, observation, and patience. Aliens believed humans were weak. Humans knew better. As the sun of the station's artificial core rose, casting long beams across the summit hall, Alina made her final observation for the day. The assassin had disappeared, leaving no trace except the murdered diplomat. But humans had proof, hidden, encrypted, ready to be used. The galaxy would soon learn that humans were patient hunters, calm in the storm and deadly when provoked. Far away in the depths of space, a signal flickered from the assassin's home system. It was faint, barely detectable, but human sensors picked it up. Alina's eyes narrowed. They had a lead. The next steps were clear: track, reveal, and prepare. But most importantly, the humans had already made a decision. No matter what the galaxy thought, no species would forget this day. The shockwave had begun, and Earth was just getting started. The galaxy had watched the assassination in shock. Alien leaders whispered in panic, some plotting immediate war, others calculating political advantage. They believed humans were cornered, isolated, and weak. They could not have been more wrong. On Earth, in the orbital command hub, the president convened a top-secret council. Alina Voss, though still recovering from the summit chaos, stood at the center, flanked by Earth's best strategists, scientists, and military commanders. The mood was tense but calm. "The galaxy thinks we are powerless," Alina said. Her voice was steady, yet carried the weight of fury and precision. "They think we will beg for mercy. They are wrong. We are not here to beg. We are here to act." A holographic map of the galaxy floated before them. Red dots marked regions of instability, systems aligned with the assassin factions. Blue dots showed friendly or neutral sectors. Alina's finger hovered over a cluster of red dots in the Tavrak cluster, home to a coalition of smaller factions who had orchestrated the assassination. "This is where it began," she said. "And this is where we will make them pay, not with blind rage, but with intelligence and precision." Project Vanguard, humanity's most secret fleet, was activated. For years it had remained hidden, its ships disguised as merchant freighters, research vessels, and cargo transports. Now, each ship received orders. Stealth technology engaged, cloaking them from even the most sensitive alien sensors. AI systems calculated optimal positions, tracking fleets, trade routes, and communication hubs. Humans had learned long ago, to win against superior numbers, strategy mattered more than strength. In the first stage, humans began gathering intelligence. Special teams of operatives infiltrated systems suspected of harboring the assassins' allies. They moved silently, blending with alien populations, analyzing communication networks, and planting discrete sensors. Every action was precise, leaving no trace of human involvement. Alina monitored progress from the command hub. She knew patience was critical. The galaxy expected humans to strike blindly, to react with immediate violence. Instead, humans worked in silence, like shadows weaving a net of inevitability. Meanwhile, alien factions grew arrogant. They issued statements mocking Earth, calling humans naive and slow to act. Reptilian generals boasted of overwhelming numbers. Energy beings scoffed at humanity's primitive fleet technology. Insectoids dismissed humans as inconsequential, their fragile bodies no match for alien physiology. Across the galaxy, hidden human operatives smiled quietly at the arrogance. They had already anticipated every claim, every boast. Humans had studied alien behavior, exploited their assumptions, and planned multiple contingencies. Within weeks, Project Vanguard achieved its first victories, not by attacking, but by sowing discord. Key communication relays were subtly compromised, causing factions to mistrust one another. Supply lines were rerouted, creating confusion and delays. Propaganda networks, infiltrated by human agents, spread rumors of betrayal and incompetence. By the time the factions realized something was amiss, they were already undermining themselves. Alina convened her security chiefs in a private briefing. "We do not waste lives on pointless battles," she said. "Every action we take must bring the galaxy closer to the truth. Humanity is not to be underestimated. The assassins' allies will crumble because of their own mistakes. We merely guide the outcome." Her team nodded, understanding the subtleties. Humans excelled where patience, intelligence, and adaptability were required. They could not rely on brute force alone, but when combined with careful calculation, even a small number of humans could dominate far larger adversaries. At the same time, another team worked on the forensic evidence from the summit attack. The assassin's weapon left a unique energy signature. Humans compared it with known alien technology databases and discovered patterns. The signatures indicated a coalition of rogue factions, each contributing specialized components. They had tried to obscure their involvement, but human algorithms detected the faint inconsistencies. "The assassin did not act alone," Alina said. "They are part of a network. If we trace it carefully, we can expose every faction involved." Weeks passed. The galaxy remained oblivious to the human preparations. Alien leaders debated whether to escalate military action against Earth, not realizing their own systems were being quietly infiltrated. Humans had learned to strike indirectly, creating uncertainty and fear without revealing their presence. During a secure communication session, Alina addressed the Earth Council. "We must remain disciplined," she said. "The galaxy expects panic. We will deliver precision. The assassin factions think they are safe. They are not. By the time they understand what is happening, it will be too late. Human scientists and engineers worked tirelessly on the fleet. Stealth ships were upgraded with quantum navigation systems, capable of faster-than-light travel without leaving detectable signatures. Drones, controlled by advanced AI, patrolled systems silently, gathering intelligence, mapping fleets, and preparing tactical simulations. Humans were turning anticipation into reality. Back at the Orion Nexus, alien factions grew increasingly paranoid. Their own spies reported anomalies, missing shipments, sabotaged communications, unexpected AI interference. Panic spread, yet none could trace the cause to Earth. Humans had mastered invisibility and strategy, operating in plain sight while remaining undetected. Alina convened a small task force in orbit above the Tavrak cluster. "We begin Phase 2, she said. "We do not strike blindly, we strike smart. We hit the infrastructure, we dismantle their networks, and we force the galaxy to watch as their allies fail. Every failure will reinforce the lesson. Humanity cannot be challenged without consequences." The fleet moved silently into position, each ship cloaked and waiting for the signal. Drones were deployed to monitor alien fleets, tracking movements, calculating potential responses. Humans had predicted every possible reaction, every countermeasure, and had prepared solutions for each scenario. Weeks of patient observation paid off. The first ripple of chaos appeared. A minor supply hub collapsed due to hidden sabotage. Alien factions blamed one another. Trade agreements fell apart. Communication lines were disrupted. Small skirmishes erupted, but humans did not engage directly. Instead, the galaxy watched itself unravel, unaware of the invisible hand guiding the events. Alina smiled quietly. She had once said that humans were underestimated because they were patient and intelligent. The galaxy now demonstrated the truth of her statement. Patience was a weapon, intelligence was a shield, and humans were the storm no one could see coming. Then, a breakthrough. The forensics team traced the weapon signature to a hidden facility deep within a remote system. It was the heart of the assassin coalition. Humans had located the origin, a place where alien arrogance and ambition had blinded them to caution. Alina's eyes narrowed as she studied the data. "This is it," she said. "The first point of contact. We strike here first, not to destroy blindly but to expose and contain. Let the galaxy see the truth. Humans act with precision, and every action is a consequence of knowledge and foresight." The fleet moved closer. AI drones scouted, mapping defenses and identifying weaknesses. Humans prepared non-lethal initial strikes. Power grids would fail, communications would collapse, and alien command centers would be isolated. The plan was to force surrender through precision and intelligence, not reckless destruction. Alina's team coordinated across multiple star systems, linking operations with civilian observation posts. Every action was recorded, broadcast-ready, a warning for any alien species that might consider challenging Earth. Humanity was no longer just surviving. They were asserting dominance through strategy and intellect. Across the galaxy, alien leaders remained oblivious. They continued to argue over the human response, unaware that humans had already prepared the next moves. Every arrogant boast, every dismissive comment became evidence of their underestimation. Finally, a message was sent by Alina, carefully crafted to reach all major factions. "We are aware of your actions. We have the evidence. We will not beg for peace, nor will we act without purpose. Every choice you have made has led you to this moment. We act with intelligence, patience, and precision. Humanity is watching. Humanity is ready." The galaxy paused. For the first time, uncertainty crept into the minds of alien leaders. Their calculations, once confident, now faltered. Humans, small and underestimated, had demonstrated the ability to observe, predict, and manipulate events on a galactic scale. Alina looked out at the stars, the glow of distant suns reflecting in her eyes. The human fleet waited silently, unseen and patient. The assassin factions were trapped in a web they could not perceive. Humanity's response was not yet visible, but the ripple effect had begun. The galaxy had believed humans were slow, weak, and reactive. The humans had proven otherwise. Phase 2 of the response was ready. The galaxy would soon witness the precision of human strategy, the patience of human planning, and the consequences of underestimating Earth. Alina took a deep breath. The storm was coming. Not a storm of blind fury, but a storm of intelligence, foresight, and righteous vengeance. And when it struck, the galaxy would never forget the day humans decided to act. The calculated response had begun. The galaxy had not yet fully understood the scale of human patience. Weeks of invisible preparation, careful infiltration, and precise sabotage had left alien factions confused, paranoid, and unprepared. But humans did not act with hasty fury. They struck with calculated brilliance. In the Tavrak cluster, the first visible signs of humanity's power began to appear. Stealth fleets, previously invisible to alien sensors, emerged in orbit around key systems. They did not attack indiscriminately. Instead, they targeted command hubs, communication relays, and supply stations, disabling them with surgical precision. Entire fleets found themselves isolated, cut off from orders, and left vulnerable to panic. Commander Alina Voss monitored the strikes from the orbital command hub. Her eyes glowed with quiet intensity as the results appeared on the holographic maps. Systems that had once laughed at humans were now paralyzed by confusion. Phase 3 has begun, she announced. Watch carefully. We will not destroy without reason. We will dismantle with precision. In orbit above Tavrak Prime, human drones silently disabled the planet's primary energy grid. Lights flickered across major cities, starports lost power, and alien populations panicked. Small military units attempted to respond, but communications had already been intercepted and rerouted. Humans were everywhere and nowhere. Across the galaxy, reports arrived from human strike teams. Alien fleets were turning on each other. Factions that had once cooperated now suspected betrayal. Trade networks collapsed. Propaganda spread by humans whispered rumors of secret deals, hidden spies, and internal corruption. The assassin factions were unraveling before they even realized humans were the orchestrators. Alina's comms buzzed. One of her field agents reported live from a hidden facility, the heart of the assassin coalition. The building was heavily guarded, but human stealth operatives infiltrated effortlessly. They bypassed security, disabled defenses, and captured high-ranking leaders alive. The operation was flawless, leaving no casualties among humans. The captured leaders were broadcast across multiple systems, revealing evidence of their guilt. Screens lit up in alien capitals, showing the faces of those who had assassinated Earth's ambassador. Gasps, murmurs, and disbelief spread. The galaxy began to understand something frightening. Humans were smarter, faster, and more efficient than expected. In one distant system, a reptilian general bellowed in anger. "They cannot have reached our fleets. They are too far. This is impossible." But humans had reached them. Quantum navigation systems allowed stealth ships to move faster than light, bypassing every defensive perimeter. Alien fleets could not react in time. The humans struck exactly where and when they intended, leaving their enemies bewildered and fearful. Meanwhile, Alina coordinated the next wave. Small strike teams, deployed across multiple systems, focused on command and control nodes. Alien leaders who had once dismissed humans now scrambled helplessly as their orders failed. Their ships drifted aimlessly, and their cities experienced targeted disruptions. Humans had learned that the key to victory was control, not destruction. The assassin factions made a fatal mistake. They sent a small fleet to intercept the stealth ships, but humans anticipated every movement. The fleet was trapped in a gravitational maneuver orchestrated by human AI, rendered immobile and vulnerable. In moments, it surrendered without bloodshed, proving that intelligence outmatches brute force. Back on the orbital command hub, Alina watched the events unfold like a chess master. Every move had been predicted, every reaction accounted for. And yet, she knew the galaxy would not learn the full extent of humanity's power until later. For now, they would see the shock, the fear, and the precision. In a hidden system, human operatives approached the station where Alina herself had been present during the assassination. Security cameras, energy shields, and traps had once deterred intruders, but humans bypassed all obstacles with efficiency. The operatives confronted the main conspirators, the leaders of the assassin network. They did not kill them immediately. Instead, they captured them alive and transmitted proof to every major alien government. The effect was immediate. Across the galaxy, leaders who had boasted of human weakness now sweated with fear. Their advisors whispered urgently, trying to calculate what humans might do next. Humans were no longer invisible. They were unpredictable and unstoppable. In the Tavrak cluster, alien armies began surrendering systematically. Isolated and leaderless, they realized that resistance was futile. Humans had demonstrated that their strategy, patience, and intelligence could overcome overwhelming numbers. The lesson was clear: do not underestimate humanity. Alina addressed her team via comm. "We are not done," she said. "This is only the beginning." The galaxy must see that humans act with honor, precision, and unstoppable resolve. We do not strike recklessly. We strike with purpose. Let every faction learn the cost of underestimating us. Stealth ships continued to move silently, disabling weapons factories, energy relays, and communication nodes. Entire fleets were immobilized without a single human casualty. Civilians on affected worlds were evacuated or protected, ensuring human morality remained intact. The galaxy began to whisper a new term. Humans do not fight like others. They strike like shadows, precise and invisible until it is too late. Even the most arrogant leaders began reconsidering their assumptions. Reptilian generals, insectoid commanders, and energy beings all had believed humans were inferior. Their arrogance had blinded them. Now they faced the consequences. In one final maneuver, human forces deployed an AI-controlled network that simultaneously disrupted multiple sectors, creating confusion, fear, and disarray. Entire fleets turned on each other, communication networks failed, and supply lines collapsed. The galaxy had never seen such coordination. Alina watched quietly from the orbital command hub. Her mind was already planning the next stage, ensuring that humans were recognized not only as survivors, but as a species no one could challenge without severe consequences. For the first time, the galaxy truly understood what humans were capable of, not through overwhelming numbers or destructive firepower, but through patience, intelligence, foresight, and moral discipline. The assassin factions, now cornered, had only two choices: surrender or face total annihilation. Humans broadcast their evidence, their strategy, and their warnings across multiple communication channels. Every alien government could see that Earth had the capability to act decisively and justly, punishing only those responsible while demonstrating restraint to innocent populations. Alina turned to her closest officers. "We have proven ourselves," she said, voice steady and proud. "But the galaxy must continue to learn. Precision, intelligence, and honor, these are our weapons, and the cost of underestimating humanity will be remembered for generations." The galaxy shuddered in awe. Stories of human stealth fleets, AI strategies, and surgical strikes spread quickly. For the first time, species that had mocked humans began to respect them, not out of fear alone, but because they understood the depth of human ingenuity. As the sun of the Tavrak cluster rose over distant planets, the final acts of Phase 3 concluded. The assassin factions had surrendered, their leadership captured, their infrastructure neutralized. Humans had struck without chaos, without panic, without unnecessary destruction, leaving the galaxy to witness the shockwave of human strategy. Alina allowed herself a small smile. The humans had not yet revealed their full power. There was still Phase 4, ensuring that humanity's place in the galaxy was secure and that no species would ever underestimate them again. But for now, the galactic shock was complete. Alien leaders would think twice before mocking Earth. Fleets would pause before underestimating humans. The galaxy had learned a simple, undeniable truth. Humans were unpredictable, intelligent, and unstoppable when provoked. And humanity had only just begun to show what they could do. The galaxy had felt the shockwave of humanity's response. Weeks of strategic strikes, stealth operations, and surgical interventions had left alien factions stunned and disoriented. The assassin coalition was defeated, their leaders captured, and their fleets immobilized. Now came the final phase, retribution and the establishment of a new order. Commander Alina Voss stood aboard the orbital command hub, overlooking the Tavrak cluster. The cluster systems were quiet now, almost eerily so. Cities and starports once bustling with alien activity were operating again, this time under careful human oversight. Humans had deliberately spared civilians and infrastructure, demonstrating that their vengeance was precise and just, not indiscriminate. Alina turned to the assembled Earth officers. "This is not a victory of destruction," she said. "It is a victory of strategy, intelligence, and morality. The galaxy must understand that humans do not strike blindly. We act with purpose, and our justice is measured. Every action has a consequence. Let this be the lesson they carry forward." Across the cluster, human teams transmitted evidence of the assassins' guilt to every major alien government. Images of the captured leaders, documents detailing their schemes, and recordings of covert operations were sent in secure transmissions. No one could claim ignorance. The galaxy could see clearly that humans had been wronged and had acted decisively and intelligently. In the halls of alien governments, reactions varied. Some species, like the reptilians, felt shame for their underestimation of humans. Others, like the insectoids, felt fear at the thought of provoking Earth again. Energy beings, previously dismissive, recalculated human potential with new respect. Every faction understood one thing: the humans were no longer to be underestimated. Back on Earth, the President addressed the Galactic Council via hologram. His calm, commanding presence filled the chamber. "The attack on our ambassador was deliberate," he began. "Those responsible have been exposed. They have been held accountable. The galaxy has witnessed humanity's resolve, intelligence, and moral strength. Let this be clear: Earth protects its own. Humanity will act with precision and justice, and any who challenge us will face consequences. But we do not punish the innocent, nor do we strike recklessly. Our strength lies in wisdom as much as in our technology." Alina watched the reactions. Across multiple systems, species murmured and debated. Some tried to resist, some plotted retaliation, but each attempt faltered under the careful web humanity had woven. Humans had not only struck back, they had reshaped the galaxy's perception of their species. The captured assassin leaders were brought to trial in a secure tribunal aboard an Earth orbital station. Unlike alien courts, the humans focused on truth, evidence, and accountability. The aliens who had underestimated humans were forced to watch as justice was delivered. Every lie was exposed, every conspiracy dismantled. It was not a display of vengeance, but of human discipline, intelligence, and morality. Alina reflected on how far humanity had come. In the past, they had been underestimated, ignored, or ridiculed. Entire species had believed humans were weak, incapable of defending themselves. Now, the galaxy understood differently. Humans could plan, predict, and execute with precision. They could respond to aggression not with blind rage, but with intelligence, patience, and honor. In the Tavrak cluster, human engineers began rebuilding and stabilizing affected systems. Energy grids were restored, starports reopened, and communication networks repaired. Humans ensured that civilians of the defeated factions were safe and provided for, earning respect even from those who had opposed them. Alien populations began to see humanity not just as a threat, but as guardians of balance and order. The final stage of retribution came with the establishment of the new galactic order. Humans proposed a council composed of representatives from all major species, but with Earth holding a decisive voice. Every system would have a stake in governance, trade, and defense, but the council would enforce a simple rule. Any act of aggression against humanity would be met with decisive, proportionate response. Alien leaders had no choice but to accept. The galaxy had seen humans, precision, patience, and power. Resistance was futile, but the humans offered respect and fairness to those willing to cooperate. Alina oversaw the negotiations, ensuring that every decision reinforced humanity's reputation as strategic, moral, and unstoppable. Meanwhile, in orbit above Earth, the president gave a final address to the galaxy. Let the events of the past weeks serve as a lesson. Humanity values life, justice, and honor. We will defend ourselves, our people, and our allies, but we will act with intelligence, precision, and morality. Let no species doubt our resolve. Let no species underestimate our potential. The galaxy has witnessed what happens when humans are challenged. Remember this day, for it marks the beginning of a new era, an era where humanity leads not through fear alone, but through strength, wisdom, and justice. Across billions of systems, alien species paused. Conversations turned from fear to respect, even awe. Humans had not only avenged their ambassador, they had reshaped the political, military, and moral landscape of the galaxy. Alina walked through the restored command center aboard the Tavrak cluster station. Her team, exhausted but triumphant, reported the final stabilizations. She paused, gazing at the stars visible through the massive observation windows. Humanity had proven itself, not just through technology or strategy, but through resilience, morality, and intelligence. The galaxy would never forget. Weeks later, the captured assassin leaders were transported to secure facilities, isolated but alive. Earth made a point of humane treatment, reinforcing a message of moral superiority. Even former enemies began to see the wisdom in humans' approach. Military planners, scientists, and diplomats across alien species studied human strategy, realizing that strength was not just measured in ships or weapons, but in planning, patience, and ethical action. Alina received a secure communication from the president. "Well done," he said. "The galaxy has learned the cost of underestimating us. But remember, vigilance is our ally. The universe is vast and threats remain. Our greatest weapon is not our fleet, it is our mind, our discipline, and our unity." Alina nodded. She had seen this firsthand. The galaxy had underestimated humans for centuries. Now they would think twice before challenging Earth. Humanity had not only survived, they had led. In the years that followed, humans solidified their place in the new galactic order. Trade flourished under Earth's guidance. Conflict became rare, as species remembered the lessons of the Tavrak cluster. Humans were celebrated not only as warriors, but as strategists, diplomats, and moral arbiters. Alina often thought back to the day of the assassination. What had seemed like tragedy had become a turning point. The galaxy had faced human patience, intelligence, and resolve, and had learned to respect and fear humanity in equal measure. And humanity continued to grow, not through conquest, but through wisdom, preparation, and honor. The galaxy had been shocked. It had been shown the consequences of arrogance and underestimation, and humanity had proven beyond doubt that they were a force that no species could ignore. As the sun rose over Earth's orbit, Alina looked to the stars, calm and proud. Humanity had taken its rightful place in the galaxy, not through reckless aggression, but through intelligence, patience, honor, and precision. The galaxy had learned its lesson. The humans had won, not through fear alone, but through brilliance, resilience, and justice. And the universe would never forget the day Earth's ambassador was killed, and the humans responded with total, unstoppable retribution. Humanity had risen. The galaxy had seen the consequences. The new order had begun.